First place, Alessandro, it's nice to meet you. This is the first time I talk to you, and it's great, man.
It's my pleasure, Ruben. Thank you.
Well, Timo, how are you, man? Everything's fine?
Yeah, I mean, I've done some gigs or like I think five or so. So, and I go to Guatemala on Thursday. I go very down. I go to Guatemala, Nicaragua, Costa Rica, then Patagonia, Argentina. I go to Patagonia.
Oh, you're coming to Patagonia, to the south of the country.
Yeah, which
Where
is cool.
do you
It's
remember?
like it's I don't remember the name actually, but it's I don't remember the name. That just says Patagonia.
Great, great. You know, there are some places here in Argentina that will remind you of Finland.
Yeah, they tell me that there's whales and stuff. It's like a nature.
Bariloche and things like that.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah, they tell me that the nature is really pretty down there.
Yeah, yeah. And very
But then
expensive.
again, is it okay? Some people call it there, not me, but they say that it's the ass of the world. It's so far down.
Something like that. It's so far away from anything.
Right.
From
I mean,
everywhere.
I'm gonna take a flight from Costa Rica, and that's like 11 hours trip.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know.
Here in Latin America, everything is so far away.
Yeah.
We're here in Corrientes. We live 1,000 kilometers from Buenos Aires, and we're still in the same country.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, and Alessandro, just a few cases. Some artist that is so inside the Rhapsody family, with Luca on one side, with Fabio on the other. How did you get in that team? We could say.
It's not easy to explain. It's a long story, you know. I started to Luca in 2012, I think. Luca called me before the split with Rhapsody of Fire, and but I was friend with Fabio even before. No? We played with Trick or Treat in Fabio City. Almost 20 years ago. So I was
right.
In the beginning, of course, I was a big fan of Fabio. Then I met him when I was with Trick or Treat. At the time, I was the singer of Trick or Treat, but we just played a Halloween song. We were Halloween tribute in the beginning of the band, you know. And I met Fabio, and I remember he was super kind with me at the time. I was really young. I was 22 years old, and he was already super famous in Italy. He was super kind with me. He just told me, "Wow, you have incredible voice," blah blah blah. So I was super happy. And then a few years after, of course, Luca was searching for a new singer and was for a new Luca Torri's solo album, not the band, not Rhapsody band.
Yeah.
And it was Fabio that told my name to Luca, basically, you know. And then Luca called me at the beginning, maybe for a solo album. Then the split came out, and I was the official singer, but I was still friend with Fabio. That was the reason why I'm still friend again too. So, I mean, even if the Luca did the reunion with Fabio, it was, you know, it's music business. It's no problem with this. It's a work. It's a job, and there is a big respect. So very fun to still in connection with Luca and Fabio.
Great. Timo, and how did you get in contact with Alessandro?
Well, that was actually through Alex Landenburg, because he was telling very good things about him, and we actually met once only with Alessandro, like 10 years ago.
Yeah, in Italy. Yeah, it was. You know, Timo, you don't know, but we met in the same place where I met Fabio the first time.
No kidding, really?
So, yeah, really.
Right.
It was Elvis pub in Italy.
Yeah, exactly.
A small Elvis pub in Tuscany.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it's Landenburg's fault.
Right. Yeah, it's his fault, or in the good way fault. You know, he was like
what a coincidence, no?
He was telling me that because I knew Alessandro's work, of course, from Rhapsody, like everybody, but I never really listened to Rhapsody that much. I mean, I go back a long way with this guys. We did a tour together back in '97 with Visions, so I could see them every day, every night, and then I actually started listening. What really impressed me was Alessandro's when he did some Halloween covers, you know, parallel to Kiske.
Yeah,
you know, that was really impressive because there's not many guys in the business who can sing like that. You know,
it's not easy.
And then it's not easy. And then I composed this one song which we released. So that was it. You know, I mean, we were supposed to do this tour already like in May, but then Jari had COVID, and everything was like postponed quickly. So, but now we are here. Oh, they're gonna be here on the 12th actually. So next month, and we start from Bogota on 14th.
Yeah, you Alessandro, you're gonna fly to Mexico or direct to Colombia?
They go to Bogota. Everybody goes there.
Yeah,
okay. From Europe.
Alessandro, I must confess, it was just short time ago. I realized you're a tattoo artist. I didn't know that. And cartoonist too.
Yeah.
How was it? Great. It was a real surprise.
Yeah, it's my daily job, you know. And during the night I sing, during the day I make.
Great.
No, I know.
Great.
You know, it's really hard to survive just with music, and of course, and I'm not a super famous guys, of course. And I'm happy to be here and have the chance to sing with Timo and other great bands. But you know, even for musicians and bands more famous than me, it's not impossible to survive. Probably it's extremely difficult, especially during this time, you know. And so, and I'm lucky because I have the passion of other passion other than music. So. So I started to make tattoos almost 11 years ago, 12 years ago, something like that. So this is my full-time job during the day. Then when I go to play shows and tour, I stop the activity and
you know,
yes, Rhapsody tattoo.
Yeah, also.
You know, it's very important what you're telling to people, because so many people think that the rock stars are you know, living in a paradise full of chicks and things like that. And it's not so usual as people think. Obviously there are some artists who lives in that way, but the great percentage doesn't.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I of course there are few bands that probably earn millions of dollars or euros or whatever, but especially in the heavy metal, I don't know. I know probably Timo can speak better than me because I'm just a sort of outsider. As I said, I'm not so famous, but I met many people that with economic difficulty and in music business. And when I was young, I suppose that every metal bands are super rich just because I saw in the festival. You know? Behind the scene, there are a lot of problems. There are no. Of course, I don't want to complain. I'm happy, so and Timo, I don't need to be super rich. So
yeah, but anyway, Timo, why do you think this happened? Because here in Argentina, maybe you know, I don't know, in heavy metal, maybe three or four bands live from the band, not from music. No, because there are some musicians who they give classes and work in sound system or mixing, recording, whatever. But from the band itself, maybe three or four in heavy metal. It's something very strange.
I think it's something to do with the global economy too, that people really have less money, you know. And they have to think, they have to eat, they have to pay the rent, they have to pay the costs, you know, normal things. And then music comes whenever you can. I mean, but to survive in this business now as an artist is really difficult, but you can do it still, but you have to be really clever. You know, you really have to be clever, and you can find a way there somehow. I think I'm very positive about actually this, because these times are like, you really gotta dedicate yourself to this, what you want to do, you know. And I still believe that if you write great songs, you have an audience for that.
Yeah. You know, there's there's some kind of phenomena with this. I don't know how you call it, trap and things like that. Urban styles or something. I don't know.
You mean reggaeton?
Something similar, trap. They call it trap here.
Yeah, in Italy it's trap. Yeah, it's a sort of rap, but in a wrong way, you know.
Something.
It's easy to sing. It's all.
I don't even know what it is. I have never even heard. What is that, trap?
Yeah, you have to check it, Timo.
Really, trap.
Alessandro, you're saying that you're not famous and blah blah blah, but the people who know you, you are respected as a very technical singer. You know how to sing. You have a great voice, but you know how to sing. What do you think when you see these trap singers, let's call it, being, I don't know, they release a song and they have 20 millions of views in one day. What do you think?
I'm totally disappointed. I really don't understand how it's possible. I mean, I'm sure that you don't need to be a great singer to sell many copies. Often happen that, especially for male singer, that the singer that sold many copies are not great singer, even in the pop music, for example. No, in Italy, for example, I don't know if you know, but the best singer under the number of copies that he sold is Vasco Rossi. I don't know, or Eros Ramazzotti. I don't know if you have ever heard the name.
Eros,
extremely famous, but it's not a great singer at all. But it doesn't matter, because it's a pretty cool voice, you know. You don't need to
maybe
sing
personality,
like Pavarotti
and things like that.
Yeah, especially in the pop music, you can sell many copies if everybody can sing your song. So you don't need to be very technical, because otherwise it's impossible. It's difficult to replace, and you can sing on a beach with a guitar.
Let me interrupt you in this point, Alessandro, because you're saying something very interesting for me. You said everybody can sing your song. Maybe if that doesn't happen, you cannot be popular. The song must be simple and maybe sung, but even for kids. If you had a very complicated song to sing, it's very difficult that this song is going to be popular in some point.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the reason why the heavy metal music, for example, that is basically pretty complicated to play and pretty complicated to sing usually, no? Or really complicated, just in case of power metal, for example, that it's really fast kind of music with complicated solos, virtuoso, but most of the audience are musicians. Think to Dream Theater, for example. They sold a lot of copies, but I think that 80% of the audience are, no, maybe not 80, but 50% are musicians. So they follow the band even for learn how to play or how to sing. That's, and there's not this way of music in the pop music, for example.
Of course,
you listen to music in a different way, just to spend the free time, or when you work, just in the background music. When you listen to heavy metal music, you are totally focused on the music usually, you know, or to learn your instruments, whatever.
And for example, football, soccer fans, will never sing on a stadium a Dream Theater song.
Yeah, but I think in the football games and in all these things, it's the feeling of togetherness. You know, that's what is in there, and it's not really relevant what music it is. Because if you go to like Coldplay concert, you can see 50,000 people singing in unison the lyrics. And if you go to Iron Maiden concert, it's the same thing. Or Metallica, they sing the songs. You know,
but anyway,
it's more like what they like. You know. What kind of music you happen to like. I mean, I always thought that it has to be a free choice to everybody. And I don't think nobody can really criticize music. Of course, you can hear reggaeton and whatever is trap is, but I really don't care about that. I mean, I don't care if it's popular or not. I just do my stuff and that's it, you know. And it's always been this way. I mean, I follow my own road and, you know, I take with me those who want to join me and that's it.
Well, and going to your tour, what will see the people here?
Well, we have a great set list. I mean, all these guys are like super professionals. You know, it's gonna be really cool. I mean, and I don't think anybody will be disappointed what they're gonna see. The thing here is also that this band is like Sinfonia without Andre Matos, because we are all the same guys, but then
almost the same members, no?
Not almost, exactly the same.
Exactly, just Alessandro.
Yes,
it's a great honor to me to. Of course, Andre was one of my favorite singers.
Yeah.
He was one of my first inspiration. So it's a
in a way
really great honor.
In a way, what we do now is kind of a tour we should have done with Sinfonia. Because we did a tour and that was like really nobody was there. You know.
Yeah.
We played I think in Chile like 200 people. You know.
Yeah.
And now we're gonna sell it out, this club. Like 800 or so. So that's, you know, I felt really sad to see Andre in that, you know, being that kind of singer, that caliber, that league. Me too. I mean, I come from what we call 7,000 club when we play 7,000 capacities, you know. But, you know, for me, it's like, you got to put your ego besides that, you know. You got to, whoever's in there, you got to play to them. But of course, it's difficult. But with Andre's case, I could see that it's really made him depressed. And me too, actually.
Yeah.
But I kind of, even in Brazil, even in Sao Paulo, we had like, maybe just 150 people, you know. So now we are sort of doing it the way it should have been done.
In fact, you were quitting after that.
Yeah, well, I have my moods, you know. So
yeah, that was a time.
Not anymore so much, but back in those days, yeah, it was really difficult for me because we put so much work and love to that album, and you know, we really liked the record, you know.
Yeah.
And it wasn't successful at all. We did a lot of work. Andre did like, I think, 200 interviews, you know, for the whole record and stuff. So, but this is the way it is. It's a gambling always. You never really know.
Timo, I guess you won't remember, but that time it was the first time we talked on Facebook, I guess.
Yeah.
I talked to you to ask you an interview, and you said no. I don't talk to press.
I'm very sorry about that.
No, but you were kind, and we started to talk about your book.
Oh yeah, the books, right.
Yeah. And then one day you told me, would you like to record one of these conversations?
Okay.
Yeah.
Back in those days, I was a little bit different.
You were always kind with us.
Okay.
Always been great to talk to you.
Oh, that's good to hear.
Yeah. Alessandro, let's pretend Timo is not here. You know,
I'm always there.
Watching us. Every time.
The eye in the sky.
No.
You know how bad some people talk about Timo. How is it to work with him?
To work with Timo? Yeah, I tell you in a few months.
Yeah, because we really don't know yet, because we just did this one song together.
No, I'm joking. I'm joking. Yeah. I honestly have to say that Timo was super, super kind. I never, I told you Timo in chat, but yeah, it was super kind. We just, we did one song together already. So we never met personally. We just worked. I was in Italy, and I think you were in Norway at the time, Timo, probably.
I was in Finland. I think I was.
Yeah. Yes. And I'm sure that we'll have fun during the tour, because I know every single. I already worked, of course, for 6 years or maybe more with Alex Landenburg, and I did a long tour also with Mikko. So Alex he's one of my best friend in music business. He's super kind guy. So and Yari is one of my music idol. Or Timo too, also of course. So I'm sure that we'll have fun. Yeah.
Yeah, and talking about music, that lineup is incredible.
Yeah, it is. I mean, also what's surrounding this thing is this kind of positivity, that everybody's positive in this, and that's very important, I mean, in Latin America, and we've been working on this tour for like almost a year now, and probably you understand that not everything is here as in Europe. with deadlines and stuff, and when you need to get an information and when you have to actually solve the problems, it's kind of tricky. So, but if there's any continent where you learn patience, it's this one.
Yeah.
So,
is it?
And I have learned.
Timo, is it still? There are so many differences between working in Europe and here in Latin America.
There is a lot of differences. Yeah. Basically, you have to assume that the starting point here that it's not going to work. That's the starting point, and then you have to sort of build it up and use the contacts. And I have a lot of contacts, of course, since 30 years. So I talk to a lot of people, and I'm so into solving problems and making things stress-free. So when the guys actually come here, we just enjoy playing,
And some people can't get used to it. I remember you told me about a German guy who was a road manager, I think in Peru, with the Strato. Went crazy because of the time. People were outside, and the place.
Well, that was Bogota actually. That was a case of first there was non-payment from the promoter. And it was like 2,500 people. There was an infinite tour, 2000. And it was 2,500 sold out. And then AC, our tour manager from Hamburg, he just said, "Okay, well, you go and tell them we're not going to play." So we went in the hotel, and then the guy comes with 3 plastic bags of notes, money, and they start calculating them. And finally, they got the money. So then, okay, we go, and we are playing like 30 minutes. And then AC, the same guy, comes on stage and says, "Okay, guys, let's run. Let's run." And I'm playing. I'm like, what do you mean, let's run? "No, let's run. Throw the instruments, let's run." So we run to the car outside, and there's a military tank with the water cannon.
No.
Because there were like 500 people outside and starting to break the venue.
No.
Yeah. So then we go to the hotel, and I go to my room, and I'm like, what the fuck was that? I'm just playing music, and then these kind of things happen, and then you start feeling like what actually happened. But that's kind of it really was a military tank, and we were like, we can't believe what I saw. I mean, we were all like, what the hell?
Yeah, only Latin America.
Yeah, I mean, I remember when we arrived, there were like 400 people at the airport, so we had to get like a police escort, but we had to circle the guys.
Great.
There's no way we can go there. I mean, they're gonna fucking kill us.
The Beatles.
Yeah, we were saying, okay, it's the Beatles thing, and it's like they want a piece of you. Actually,
yeah.
I remember in Argentina, in Buenos Aires, in Cemento or some. Maybe not that, but there was no way to the backstage except through the people. So there were like 2,000 people, and they made like this chain of bodyguards holding hands, and then made this corridor. And we come, and when they see us, everybody runs and start grabbing hair and scratching skin and stuff. And it was 2 sold out gigs. So next evening it was the same thing. We knew what to expect, so everybody runs like fucking.
Great.
They really want piece of you.
Yeah, yeah. Very hot people here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I like to record some kind of invitation for the gigs here with both of you. In the first place, Alessandro, could you?
Yeah, I'm Alessandro Conti from Italy, and I want to say hi to the follower of Espectro FM. I want to invite you on our upcoming tour with the great Timo Tokki, and we will play some great songs from Stratovarius, and you don't want to miss it. I want to see you in the front of the stage. Ciao.
Great, great. Timo, could you please?
Hello, this is Timo Tokki. You are listening or seeing El Espectro in Corrientes, Argentina. We're going to play Latin American tour supporting and celebrating Vision's 25 years anniversary, starting from Bogota, Colombia, 14th of October and ending to Mexico City, 29th. See you there. We have a great set list for you guys.
Thank you very much. It was a real pleasure. Very nice guy. Very nice to talk to you, Alessandro. Of course, I never.
My pleasure.
Great. Really, really happy to have you. And thank you very much, guys.
Thank you.
All the best.
Have a nice day.
Ciao, Timo.
Sleep well, see you soon. Yeah. Bye bye.
Ciao.
Goodbye, man. Ciao, ciao.
Bye bye.